Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, back with another STAMPtember limited edition collab video. Today's collaboration is with Newton's Nook. They have the cutest little critter sets, which is right up my alley. So I took some of the images from this Turkey Talk stamp set, and I'm going to stamp them onto Simon's 120-pound smooth white cardstock with intense black ink. I'm going to stamp them a couple times because they're brand new stamps. You know, you gotta ink them up a few times, all the fun things to get them stamping good. So stamp the images, and then off camera I stamped the pumpkin a couple more times because you can never have enough pumpkins. So once they were stamped, I'm going to use my Copic markers to color everything in. And as always, super sped this up in editing to make all of this go faster. It's pretty basic coloring, other than I gave the dog a bunch of splotches. And I can't remember for the life of me the name of like a breed of this dog, but to me he's just a cute little mutt with all, you know, little gray splotches all over him. So just went along and colored everything in with the Copic markers. Yeah. Kind of just basic, but also enjoying it because these images are cute. Newton's Nook makes just cute little sets. So I decided to make the cat orange, which then made me start thinking of Garfield. My kids have been into that because I guess it's on Netflix now. Kids nowadays, they'll never understand the struggle. Like everything, it's like, man, when I was into Garfield, all we had was a comic in the newspaper. And then the rant will go further because I was like the dog image with the turkey on his head. I was like, that started making me think of Friends. And then I got really sad because Friends isn't on Netflix anymore. And I own all the series on DVD, but I don't have a DVD player in my office because I used to just play it. Because, you know, I got a little smart TV in here or whatever. And I've mentioned that in other videos. Like I would just let Friends play as I was working. And this just reminded me of the episode with Joey and the turkey, which is one of my favorite episodes. Like, all of them. Yeah, anyway. First world problems. Like, oh, I might actually have to put a DVD in to, you know, watch it. So, anywho, I colored in all of these little, you know, Thanksgiving images using browns and reds and all the nice fall sorts of colors. And then pulled in just a pop of, you know, teal aqua color just cause it just needed it. It just had to happen. So once I get all of these images completely colored in, I'm going to take my white gel pen, my Jelly Roll 10, like wide gel pen, and add more little dots. I do go in actually before I even do the gel pen, I go in with my Copic markers, just like darker shades, and add just a few dots. Not as much texture as, you know, I did a video just the other day, like basically coloring in all the images, you know, just dotting. But you can do either or you can do like this, add a little bit of, you know, dots at the end just to give a little bit of texture. And then the white gel pen, of course, never following any rules. I just add them wherever I think it looks good. So I did all coloring, fussy cut out these images. And then for the card base itself, I'm using Honeybee's Art Deco stencil. It's a set of 3, but I'm only using the one stencil. And I'm going to apply the stencil over some Desert Storm cardstock. So I get it centered because this is, you know, I fiddled with this just a little bit. I wanted to make sure it was centered because it's kind of the main, it's going to frame my little characters. So I'm going to tape the cardstock from behind to the stencil so the stencil doesn't move. And then I'm going to blend peacock feathers and a bit of chipped sapphire distress oxide ink. And those holders are by the ink stand. I get a lot of questions about those. I always try to link to everything that I use, tools, stamps, supplies, everything, in the description box below the video, as well as on my blog. So if you don't see it in the description box, check my blog, because on the blog it's picture links. Makes it easier to see, you know, so you can see the things. And if it's not there, leave me a comment, because sometimes I forget, but I do try to remember to make everyone's life easier. So anywho, blended these inks and was reminded yet again how much I just love Distress Oxide inks on top of Desert Storm cardstock. Like, again, mwah, chef's kiss. there's something about the way these inks sit on Desert Storm cardstock that they just make me happy. You'll see when I pull the stencil off, it's just like, oh. So anyway, Peacock Feathers, the chip sapphire, I went in with a very light hand and just kind of blended off the Art Deco center area. And then you peel off the stencil and it's just like, oh, so perfect. It was so perfect. So that made me very happy. Like this card just started coming together and I was like, yes, all these good things. So after I removed the stencil and the tape, I carefully trimmed this down. I didn't want it to be a full A2 sized, but again, I want that, you know, framed center area in the center. So I basically kind of took like 1/8 of an inch off all the sides and we're good to go. And then I die cut some white cardstock with the stacking Art Deco labels wafer dies. And I purposely die cut a piece smaller because I wanted that whole thing to like frame it up and it's going to make everything look like there's more layers when there really isn't. So kind of loving that. And then all my little characters, I just popped onto that piece with little foam squares. And then I put Simon's Big Mama foam tape on the back of this so I can pop this up with a little bit of dimension and then you can see how it all starts coming together. And then off camera, I had white heat embossed the little turkey to me. I don't know, it just cracked me up. Sentiment onto some brown cardstock and I die cut it with one of Honeybee's Sweet Stack Circle wafer dies. And then I'm going to pop that up with some little foam squares as well. And then my card base is Simon's 120 pound more of the smooth white cardstock. And I'm just going to stamp the Thankful for You little sentiment from that Talk Turkey set with black ink. And then I pulled out a couple more Distress Oxides. I pulled out Wild Honey and Fired Brick. And then I have the Peacock Feathers. And I'm just stamping the little leaf that's in the set. I just decided to do it kind of, you know, blowing through. Just a very fall mood sort of a card. So stamp those on the inside of the card. And then I also pulled out some of Simon's Sunshine cardstock. It just worked with all of this. So I cut that to slightly larger than the main panel and adhered those together. And then I'm going to adhere this to my card base. Once I've got that adhered, I'm going to add one final little embellishment because I know no splatter or bling. This was not a splatter or bling card, but I still got away with some embellishments. So I just used some little heart sprinkles and just added those. They just went nicely with the theme and the colors and all the things. So I'll adhere those with little dabs of craft tacky glue. And then I'm going to pair this card with one of Simon's burnt orange envelopes. And this card is complete. So like all the other STAMPtember collaboration sets, this is limited edition. I'll have a link to the set. And like I said, links to the supplies, etc. All that will be in the description box below the video, as well as on my blog. My blog is always the first link below the video as well. So you can check that out if you are interested. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing, thumbs upping, commenting, all the good things. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.